Creative Drawings is getting you ready for the holidays with their fast Thanksgiving embroidery. Embroider on towels, napkins, or even an apron, which make perfect hostess gifts. Visit creative-drawings.com to download the project from the design gallery. And remember, Creative Drawings is where embroidery magic begins. Find your Thanksgiving embroidery on your installation DVD. Simply put the DVD into your computer, and when the window comes up asking you to install, just cancel. Then go up to the New File folder and use From Embroidery. You're going to find your Thanksgiving embroidery in Designs, 01, Winter, and Canasta. Once you have that, we're going to choose a generic 100 by 100 hoop. If you want to use the hoop for your machine, go right ahead. And then click Next. We're now going to choose the fabric, and remember this is where the underlay is made for your embroidery. So you want to choose the proper fabric. In our case today, I am going to be stitching out on a napkin or again an apron or a tea towel, that sort of thing. So embroidery normal is great for that, and we're just going to choose a cotton with a light colored background and click Next. In the threads to use, go ahead and leave 8. We're going to adjust that later, and choose the Silky Thread color palette and finish. So now you have your embroidery on the screen. Let's go ahead and use the Control A. Hold down the Control key and press A on your keyboard, and we're going to make this turkey just a little bit smaller to fit in the hoop better, and then scoot it over toward the middle. Again, depending upon your hoop size, you may need to make it bigger or make it smaller. It just depends on what hoop size you are working with. Now if you notice the outline, it's in a kind of a royal blue, and I want to change this to a nice soft brown. So to do that, come down to the royal blue in the threads in the design, the bottom row, and right click, and then select by pen color because it is an outline. So we want to select by the outline or the pen color. Once you have that done, move over to the right part of your threads available, or the top row, and you're going to find a tawny brown. Can you see it? It's a really pretty tawny brown. Use the upper left corner of that thread color box and left click, and that will change the color of that outline. So that'll just change the color of the outline really fast and easy. We want to make the basket itself a little bit more brown rather than yellow. So move your mouse kind of up toward the head of the turkey basket and left click, and you're going to go ahead and get the whole fill area in there, and we're going to change that color. So again, toward the right hand side, you found the tawny brown earlier. This time we want to find and use the tawny tan, and we're going to change the step fill color, so make sure you're using the bottom right corner of that thread color box and left click. And now you've changed the whole basket color, not only the outline but the step fill itself. Before we put our letters in our design, you'll notice the corn over here. It's a little bit pale. We want it to be a little bit brighter. So we're going to change those colors as well. On the far right side of the bottom row, which is the threads in the design, you're going to see a very light colored green, and that green is the corn husks. Let's go ahead and right click on that thread color box, select by, and this time we're going to choose any color. So please click on any color. That will take both the step fill as well as the outlines. So any running stitches will change all of those colors at once. And we're going to use the bright green that's already in the threads in the design row. So left click on the bottom right corner. That will change the fill color, and then make sure you left click in the upper left corner, and that changes the running stitches. So everything is now changed to that kind of bright green. It's the same color that was on the tomatoes. Now we want to change the fill in the corn. So exact same thing. Go ahead and right click on that thread color box. Select by any color because we want to change running stitches as well as the fill stitches, and that selects it all. And now we're going to go to a different area in the Sulky thread color palette. And if you go to the very right hand side of that top row, you're going to see a little arrow. Can you see that? Just right click on that. Not only once, but you want to right click on it twice, and I think I did that already, so you can go back and forth in your thread color palette. What you want to find is in the middle here, you're going to see a bright kind of a nice gold yellow, and that's called maize yellow. And you want to left click on the bottom right corner and also in the upper left corner, because again, we're changing the color to a nice bright color for that corn. So you can see how that's brightened up that embroidery quite a lot. So now we're ready to put in our letters. Go ahead and scroll up just a little bit and then click on the Edit Text icon on the left hand side. So we're going to click on that Edit Text tool, left click, and in your tool options, the font size, we want to have it between 18 and 20, and because I'm using that 100 by 100 hoop, 18 is a really nice size. And then the font name, I'm going to choose Curls, and that's a font that's on most computers. So once you have that set, just left click in the work area and you'll see that cursor, because we have a little bit darker background, so you can see the cursor blinking, and I just want you to type in Gobble. That's really fast and easy. Now I really like the Curls font, but let's say I wanted to change that. Let's see what it looks like in different fonts. So simply go up to where it says font name and left click, and you're going to notice that it becomes highlighted. Then you can use the up and down arrows on your keyboard to change to different fonts, so you can actually see what your word will look like in the different fonts. So go ahead, that's a great way that Creative Drawings lets you see what your letters and what your word is going to look like before you stitch it out. So that's really nice feature. Once you have the letters in the font that you want, go ahead and go up to the rectangle selection in the upper left corner, and left click, and that changes those letters into stitches. So we're done, we've changed it into stitches. Let's go ahead and change the color to that real pretty tomato color. It's called Orange Flame, but let's go ahead and left click on that bottom right corner, and that changed the color of my letters to that really pretty color used for the tomatoes. We want to put this word in one more time, so I'm going to highlight it and click duplicate. And when I do that, only click duplicate once, because it just put that duplicate word right on top of my other word. So once you click, go ahead and move that out of the way. If you were to click 2 or 3 times, that's how many words you would have right on top of one another. So usually what I like to do is just click once on duplicate and then move my word out of the way. So it makes it easy to see and easy to work with. And now I'm going to change to that pretty pumpkin color, that kind of orange pumpkin color, and left click on that color box as well for that word. So we're almost finished. All we're going to do is, if you want to change the size, you can certainly change the size of your letters at this point. I just want to rotate it just a little bit, and then I'll scoot this down just slightly, just a little bit closer to my original embroidery. And then I'm going to left click again and rotate, and just again, I'm just going to move this down just a little bit. So just scoot that down just a little bit. Once I'm done with that, I'm just going to zoom out so you can see the finished product. It is a really fun, easy embroidery to work with, and really that's it. And we really hope you enjoyed creating this little turkey embroidery, and don't forget to make a fun and easy gift to show your appreciation for that holiday meal when you go visiting. And remember, Creative Drawings is where embroidery magic begins.